Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got some new mods. Alright, first the update. So we've got an update to the Buyable Products Pack. This is by Jelonic, 2.16 megabyte on the download. In the changelog, it's got prices have been improved in new products such as egg box pallet, grape pallet, honey box pallet, lettuce pallet, strawberries pallet, tomatoes and milk pallet. And we've got an update to the milk extension, again by Jelonic, 1.15 megabyte on the download. Changelog says it's fixed the price for that. Then we got the Seppi M Multiplier S9. This is by Black Eyes Modding, 18.24 megabyte on the download for that. And in the changelog it says fix some bugs, added 2D or 3D chains configuration, visual improvements, added new model the S9 200 base for use in rows of orchards and vineyards. And the last update we got for today is the Umbrian Valley. This is by Gamer Designs, 139.66 megabyte on the download. The changelog for that says fixed a few terrain problems, fixed farmlands, corrected fields to match new farmlands, fixed cell icons on port cell points, fixed new floating trees, added in a road to the island, removed floating props and all new redesigned overview. So the first mod we got for today is the Small Brick House. This is by Bart, 8.16 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu. So if we go into there, we go for buildings and farmhouses. There it is, 40 grand to buy. Obviously place it down. Me being on Elm Creek, you can only have one sleep trigger. So I had to sell the original house and then place this one down. Obviously, small house. There's your sleep trigger at the front. It's got a bit of life on the side. I mean, it's got a breaker box there, but that doesn't seem to do anything. Other than that, nicely designed. Obviously a different style. Place it down. Yeah, very nice. I like the bike on the outside there. Very nice. Right, next up is Beehives. This is by Fudso, 6.35 megabyte on the download. You're going to find them in the construction menu and under animals and then bees. So we'll scroll along and find. There we are. Got two options there. So you've got the first one, which is 2 grand, and the more shed-like style one, which is 2 grand as well. Obviously, place these down. Get some honey from your bees. You will need to place down a pallet spawn point area, mind you. That being said, nice small footprint on those two. Yeah, very nice. Right, next up is the Donuts Factory. This is by Urshabba, 2.5 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under production chains and factories. So we'll scroll along and find. There we are, 20 grand to place down. Obviously this is going to take sugar, flour and eggs. It's going to make you some donuts. Oh, I do like a donut. Very nice. So if we click on there, there we are. 4 flour, 3 sugar, 2 eggs give you 7 donuts. Do like a donut. Obviously done in the style of the base game bakery building, mind you. Chuck all your stuff in there at the side. And then there's your pallet spawn point. Donuts. Love a donut. Very nice. Right, next up is the Straw Chopper. This is by Zoddlezoct, 7.23 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under factories. So we'll scroll along to find it. There we are. 125 grand to put down. Obviously this is going to turn your straw into chaff. It's a bit of an interesting situation on the go there. There's your production chain menu. So 1,000 litres of straw is going to give you 750 litres of chaff. 1,200 cycles a month. Yeah. Obviously you're loading in points there. You're taking out points there. What did it say on the storage capacity? Didn't say, did it? Let's go back into there. Go back into production factories. Find it again. There we are. That doesn't say on the storage capacity. Okay. I mean, if you got a load of straw left over, obviously turn it into chaff. Do yourself some bit of silage with that. Obviously adds into the whole immersive roleplay. Very nice. Right, next up is the 2 bay shed. This is by BK Mods, 1.42 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under buildings and sheds. 2 grand to buy. Obviously place it down to store some equipment. You're not going to store anything that big, mind you, because it is small, but it's alright. Obviously, you know, you could put some pallets under here or a small tractor or some small equipment, In those lights, there isn't a trigger to turn them on, mind you, so I wonder if they're automatic. They come on about 6 o'clock at night. That being said, I do like it. Nicely detailed. Yeah, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is something brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is the automatic shipping of animal products. This is by Kamikaze, 0.16 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under animals and bees. So we'll scroll along to find it. There we are. 500 to place down. Obviously this is called honey shipping. This is ace. Obviously we've got the pallet spawn point for those beehives there. And what you need to do when placing it down, these outer hatch marking areas are actually part of this mod. So you need to make sure they're over the pallet spawn point area. Because then you can come into here, production chain menu. If you come across there and down to honey, storing, it says it holds 5,000 litres internally on the website. You can then click on that. You can sell it directly. Or you can click on that distribute in. That's going to take it to the cereal factory. You haven't got to load any pallets of honey anymore. That's brilliant. Obviously, if you're into your pallet stacking, then you might want to give this one a miss. But I know a lot of people are asking for autoload stuff and that because pallets are a bit tricky. So this takes out the loading of it altogether. That's brilliant. I mean, especially if you had that mod that's got like stores, was it 24 pallets of honey? That should fit in there. That is brilliant. Right, next up is Workshop. This is by Razak, 7.85 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it in the construction menu and under buildings and tools. There it is, 150 grand to place down. This is going to be a workshop trigger for you. So if you come up here, you've got your hatch marking area there. We'll open that door. We'll open that door as well if you want to. Obviously pull your vehicles in. Do these work as well? No, they don't. Oh, you can't simulate being a mechanic. That's a shame. And obviously come over to this trigger and then hit that and you can work on your vehicles. But that being said, I do like that. That's very nice. There is no option to turn the lights on, so unless there's a switch knocking around somewhere, which I can't. Oh, we are. There we go. Switch is by the water cooler. That is very nice. I like the design inside as well. Ah, very nice. I like that. Right, next up is the seller. This is by Paisal360. I'm going to apologise now because I'm going to absolutely murder this name. Beaumec 23433 and Bartsonov 3, 9.88 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under silos. So we'll scroll along to find it. There it is, 55 grand. It's going to hold 100,000 litres of sugar beet and potatoes according to the website. So you come over here. The first option you got on the hatch marking area there, you can show auxiliary markers or turn them off. Then this one here, install the conveyor belt. So that puts that there. So obviously you can then unload into your trailer. And if we put that back in, we'll come around the other side, install the chute. So obviously this is what you're going to do when you want to load into it. So if we put that away, we come over here, install the cover, puts that over there. We turn that on, switch the lights on, outside lights. You can also open the door and then go inside, switch that light on as well. That's very nice. Obviously it's got a rather small footprint for something like potatoes and sugar beet. I mean, they do take up a lot of space. So that's really nice. I like the fact that you got a chop and change for the different scenarios on the go. I mean, can you have them both out at the same time? Let's have a look. Yes, you can. Ah, that's interesting. Load in, load out at the same point. Ah, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is Recycling Centre. This is by Gwendol, 22.73 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under productions and selling points. So there it is, 50 grand to buy. And this is brilliant. This is a sell point, but in the style of a recycling centre, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So if we come up here, obviously you've got a container there. That's not really got much going on. But then when you come over here, you got all these different sell points. Just have a look over the edge, see what's in the bin. Obviously that's wood chips. You then got green waste, that's apparently grass and branches. You then got the food sell point. You then got, according to the website, that's going to be wood chips, is it? Or is it? No, maybe just wood. No. Wood chips is the first one, though, isn't it? Green waste, fabric, wool. Alright, we'll carry on. That one's a bit strange. And over here, obviously, you got your wool and your fabric one. And on this one, you got your wood and planks. And that one there, you got your stones. It's got wood. Oh, is that wood? That's interesting. On the website it says there's ones for stones, wood, boards, furniture, wool, fabric, clothes and wood chips. Food, sorry. And then green waste. So what's this one over here? That looks like wood chips to me, but then again, that's wood chip bales. Anyway, we'll carry on. I do like the look of this. This is brilliant. I mean, I've gone to a few skips, a few recycling centres in my time, and this just looks spot on with what it actually does. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, next up is SelfMade Pigsty. This is by Didec 96, 12.25 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this in the construction menu and under animals and pigs. So 49,800 to buy. And you've also got the option, if we go into buildings and silos, we'll scroll along to the end because you've got the manure pit there, 2,500 to buy. Obviously, according to the website with the pictures, it's saying this is how you should place it for your best actions, shall we say. So that's what I've done. Obviously, you may need to toggle off free mode. That's alright. Obviously, yeah, your manure pit there. There's your slurry taking out point. And you can open the hatch. Yes. I like a hatch into a tanker's poo. Yeah, you know what I mean. Then we come in here. Obviously, this is where you're going to load all your food in and your straw. And hit your dialog box there. 80 pigs. Jobs are good in. Do like that. Oh, that's very nice. I do like an animal pen that you can open up a hatch for, yeah, the brown stuff. Oh, very nice. Right, next up is the John Deere Weight 900. This is by Langrio Modding, 1.09 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, it's under weights. So a 900 kilo weight for you, 1900 to buy. The options you got there are design, standard, guides, and back to standard. Just puts those little spikes on the top. And you can change the main colour to any one of those four. Orange John Deere weight. Why not? Right, next up is the Lizard's Weight Pack. This is by Petrovic Zombo, 1.77 megabyte on the download. Again, you're going to find them under weights. So you've got the three options. You've got the 600 kilo, the 800, and then the 1200 kilo. The only options on all of them is to change the main colour. So you go for whichever one you want. Match it up to your tractor. 505 to buy as standard for the 600. 560 to buy for the 800 and 705 to buy for the 1200. Right, next up is the Tenwinkle Weight Pack. This is by Vertex Design, 6.82 megabyte on the download. You're going to find them under weights. So we've got quite a few here. So the first three, these three here, the 900, the 1200 and then the 1450. Obviously, going to that one, the options are the same on all of them. You can add a coupling to the front. Ooh, very nice. And obviously you can change the main colour to grey, grey or grey. Obviously you pick the shade of grey you want. Then if we come over to the drive-in 800 and the drive-in 1000, you can also add extra weight to it. So the 800 has, obviously, by the name, 800 kilo weight. You can then add 400 to that, 600, and then back to 0. Change the main colour to grey, grey or grey. Then in the 1000, you can add 400, 600, and back to 0. So you could have yourself a 1.6 ton weight on there. And again, change the colour, grey, grey or grey. We then move on to the next section, the FPs. So these are just standard weights. The only option you can do is change your colour to, well, can you really change your colour? It's all just a shade of grey. Then you got the 600 kilo, 800 kilo, 900, 1000. That's your last one. So obviously a nice little weight pack there. So whack one on whichever one you need. Right, next up is the Aggro Mouse OH5. This is by Didec96, 5.19 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under plows. So 150 horsepower requirement from your tractor. Oh, 2.5. Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? 7 mile an hour working speed, 14 grand to buy. The only options you've got there are design universal mold boards or slatted mold boards. 2.5. I mean, it's one of the slanted plows as well. 2.5. Shocking. Right, next up is the Beaumec Pack. This is by Aggro, 27.24 megabyte on the download. You're going to find all three of these under slurry tanks. So we've got the Multi Pro Feet 2115, the Multi 4XL, and then the Track Pack. So we've got the Multi Pro Feet 2115. This has got a 15 meter working width, 9 mile an hour working speed, 69.5 grand to buy. You can then change that from 15 meter to 21 meter and back to 15. That's your only option on there. Then go in the Multi 4XL, 104 grand to buy to start with, 24 meter and then 9 mile an hour working speed. That goes up to 30 meter. 30 meter, why not? Then back to 24. And then we go on to the Track Pack, 62 grand to buy. Starts off at 15 meter, 18, then back to 15. It also runs at 9 mile an hour. So if you've got a slurry tanker, I mean, I probably would go for the 4XL. I mean, that 30 meter, definitely. Right, next up is the Lizard Fuel Tank. This is by North Modding Company, 2.20 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under miscellaneous. So this has got a 970 litre fuel tank, 3.5 grand to buy. The options you got there are design, standard, rubber lifting beam, or standard, brands, Lizard, Ponzi, John Deere, Komatsu, Rotney, then back to Lizard. You have tank number none, 1. Where's the tank number? Oh, there you are, on the back. 2, and then none, and then main colour. Obviously change the main colour. So if you whack this on a trailer, if you get caught short anywhere where you've run out of fuel, I mean, primarily the website says this is for like forestry equipment, but if you're out in the field so much and then, you know, you run out of diesel like I have done, I must admit I have done that a couple of times, fill one of these up and off you go. Very nice. Right, next up is the Demla SKM 209. This is by Aggro Modding and Plugs LS. 14.96 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it on the trailers. So this has got a 50,000 litre capacity, and it's saying it's got a standard price of 55.5 grand, but we've come straight in and it's given us that extension. So if we get rid of that, so it starts off then with a 40,000 litre capacity. Alright, why did it come in with the extension already on? Alright, we'll carry on. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then got design without glass top, glass plate without glass top. So where's... Oh, it's at the front there. Yeah, I'll just put a bit of perspex over it. And you've got a capacity again, obviously 40 to 50. There are your options. Change your main colour. Go for any one of those. Then your rim colour, white or silver. Not really much of a change on the rim colour, mind you. That being said, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Brussel and Laid Square Bale Tongs. This is by DTP Mario, 7.83 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under front loader tools. So it costs 16 grand to buy a standard. The options you got there are front loader attacher, telehandler, and then wheel loader, and back to front loader. Change the main colour. Go for any one of those. Yeah, obviously this hooks up to the front of whatever vehicle you use and then goes on the top of the square bales. Those spikes then spin round and hook in. Very nice. Right, next up is the Lizard Buffalo RX 2470 HD Plus. This is by Bartsanov 3, 11.41 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under manure spreaders. So this has got a 24,000 litre capacity, 160 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 14 metre working width, 9 mile an hour working speed, 62.5 grand to buy as standard. The options you got there are configuration, standard, manure spreaders. Puts that on the back there, or back to standard. Then you've got wheel brands and tyres, usual shenanigans on the go with that. Then you've got design, standard, with work lights, or back to standard. 24,000 litre capacity, 14 metres. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Autoloader IT Runner platform. This is by Ershaber, 3.77 megabyte on the download. You're going to find both of these under miscellaneous. So you've got the two options there. You've got the pallet autoloader, and then you've got the drum platform autoloader. Obviously, the pallet's going to do everything from your production chains, and then your drum platform is going to do liquid fertilizer, herbicide, diesel, water, and silage additive. So if we go into that one. So the pallet autoloader, 34,000 litre capacity, 3,600. That is wow cheap. Change the main colour. We'll go for matte pink. Why not? If we come out of that, we're going to the drum platform, 13,500 litres, 4,200. That's more expensive than the pallet one, but okay. So that's giving you the option there on liquid fertiliser, herbicide, diesel, water, silage additive, back to liquid fertilizer, and obviously change the colour to whatever you want. So if we come out of that, now these are just the platforms, so you are going to need a hook lift truck to go with it, so just bear that in mind. There is one thing also, you've got it on the back of this truck here. We pull up to these pallets and it doesn't load, because what you need to do is unfold it and put it on the ground. So do L, B and A like that. It's going to put the trailer on the ground like so, and it starts auto loading. Job done. Then just fold it back up, and the best thing about this as well is when you get to your sell point, you don't need to unfold it again, because once it's all done like so, we'll do R, B and Y. It puts it all out the back. Job done. That is very nice. I like that. Right, next up is the Massey Ferguson 5700M 12x12 version. This is by KRKZ Modding, 8.68 megabyte on the download. You'll find it under small tractors. So it's got a 115 horsepower engine, 24 mile an hour top speed for the low price of 60 grand. The options you got there are front weights, no, yes or no. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you got fenders, standard, wide or standard. Front loader attacher, no. Quickie, Hauer, and then no. So an engine setup's 115 as standard. Then got 125, 135, back to 115. We'll change the main colour. We'll go with a silver. And the design colour, we'll go with a orange. Changes those side panels. And then obviously the rim colour changes the rims. Very nice. It's alright, that is. Right, and the last mod for the day is the Utility Vehicle Auto Load Package. This is by Ershaber, 12.3 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these two under cars. So we've got the John Deere XUV Auto Load Edition, and then the Mahindra Retriever Auto Load Edition. So the John Deere is 15 grand, the Mahindra is 12.5 grand. So really you're just paying for the name on that one, because they both carry the same amount and they both got the same engine capacity. Interesting. I was saying that the Mahindra does 52 mile an hour and the John Deere only does 37. So you're paying, what, 2.5 grand for a slower vehicle? We'll carry on. The options you got there are vehicle configuration. You got standard, 3 points. This is on the back there. Auto load activated, which obviously you're going to want to do. Auto load and 3 point. Then back to standard. Change the main colour to any one of those. Oh, we'll have a pink John Deere. Why not? Design colour, we'll go for red. It changes the seats inside. And then the rim colour, oh, copper metallic. Why not? So then we go into the Mahindra. Then you've got the same options, auto load activated, standard. Then main colour, change it to orange. Then the design colour, we have a green, changes those parts on the seats. Right, so we've got the Mahindra, so we'll back it up to the sugar pallets we've already got there. What's going on? Ah, there we are. Just got to get it in the right spot. Job done. I mean, 5,000 litre capacity. It's on a little go-kart sort of thing. That's ace. There you go, 2,000 litres of sugar. Job done. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. That's the last mod for the day, so that's it. Done and dusted. Drop it in the comments below which one's your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.